Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this testimonial slash feedback video. It's the first time I'm trying this format, but today I have my good friend, Adrian Wong here today. Wong, since I'm just giving me that, insight to how he felt with the coaching experience, how he stumbled upon the experience, what he felt, how can it be improved, etc. Just getting like a really honest, raw experience from him. I'm not attached whether it's good or bad, so this is kind of like my first time kind of fully understanding his perspective as well. So I guess first question, like Mr. Wong, like how did we meet, and kind of like what are you doing? Like where are you in your life stage at the moment?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me on. It's good to meet, good to see you again. Well, how did we meet? I think we shared this story quite a few times. Well, I met you at UBC, which is the school that I currently go to, and it was the year that you were on exchange from Edinburgh, I believe. We just happened to. It was actually I had recently just transferred. I was at a local college here. I'm born and raised in Vancouver, so I started off at a local college. Gone into my third year, my first ever business class at UBC. Just walked into class, I think I sat down first. I'm not sure. I think I sat down first, and then this
Yeah,
gentleman here, Mr. Marco, just asked if anyone was sitting next to an empty seat. We were in front of the class too, so yeah, we just sat down. We went through class, and I don't know if it was during or before, but he posed the utmost important question, which was, "Hey, do you smoke weed?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, welcome to Vancouver." I think you had just arrived too, and you were talking about weed maps and just I don't know if you were asking me where to get some stuff, but yeah, that was really the beginning of our friendship, and then ever since then, we obviously went through UBC. We've done some traveling together. We've been to Portland, really really cool city, Portland and Seattle, right? Yeah. Really cool
yeah,
city.
yeah.
I guess me personally, yeah. So ever since then, Marco's gone back. But we hung out for a solid almost a year, I think, that you were here in Vancouver. It was a great time. And yeah, since then I've completed some co-op programs. I've done some work. My background's in marketing at UBC, and yeah, right now I'll be graduating within the next couple months. But went through a nice coaching session with Marco, and he kind of brought in some really cool insights in regards to that. So
Yeah,
just
coaching
currently,
program, right? Not just one
yeah,
session.
coaching.
Yeah,
Yeah. So kind of going through career exploration, and trying to figure out exactly where to go.
cool. I guess my second question was like, what motivated you? What's the primary driver for you to like try out coaching? It's like something that you haven't tried out before. Like, what kind of
Yeah.
made you want to give it a try?
Yeah, well, I think you've talked to me about coaching too, like way before you brought up that you were coaching people. But I think I've been a mentor in my life too, and I've also been a mentee, and I always find great value out of that. I guess obviously I've never considered maybe paying for a coach, or being involved in some sort of in the sessions that we went through. And I guess the real motivating factor here, I touched on even just now in my introduction, is like just trying to figure out, what life is. And there's a lot of kind of things that go on too. And me mentally speaking too, I think mental health is a big part of this coaching session. I guess I'm speaking now like during our session, but even prior to before, I know there's like a lot of thoughts that I want to kind of let go, or a lot of thoughts that get built up in my brain too, and that can cause a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty. And those were definitely the topics that we first brought up early on in the
Mm,
session. So I think Marco first hosted a consulting session, and it went great. Obviously we were friends before, and we kind of hit it off already. But I mean, he just always brings in kind of new insights that I had. And it's nice to really just be able to talk to someone, even that day, just letting go of my feelings, and knowing I have someone in front of me, whether it's a friend or someone I may not even be super familiar with, but someone that's kind of more deep insighted. He provides a lot of kind of wise thoughts that come out, and he's able to really kind of share with me kind of his experience too, and we really connect on that kind of human level. And
mm.
that's certainly I got that from our friendship, but also just from our first consulting session. And then from there, it was just I knew that it was important for me too, mentally, to have someone to talk to, and be able to share those feelings. So that really got me going, and once we started it really hit off.
Mm. Yeah, so the coaching that we did was like more free flow coaching. It's more like, hey, like you just brought up kind of like what you were going through or some of the concerns that you were having, the challenges that you're having, and I was just there to kind of like be that mirror for you and like hold that space and kind of like get kind of do that mental exercise with you and like also that heart exercise to try to like really feel through it, trying to like tackle it from different kind of angles. So yeah, because right now I'm also providing the like a more structured program. So I just want to make sure people understand this is the free flow coaching kind of model that we did.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you even presented me your free flow your kind of structured coaching program. And I thought that was very interesting. And that, I think that's an option for people too. Like if you've obviously got a set, like I said, you're well prepared, you've got a kind of a well set plan, but even for anyone that's coming in, like if you just want to talk to someone and Marco, that's kind of the advantage is that he's very flexible. Like you're able to, like I said, like just relate to issues. Like we talked about like family relationships, just being stuck and just being uncertain during tough times, and like he's flexible with that, and that's certainly stuff that it's like covered. I believe definitely covered in your program anyways, but it's like it's very flexible.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you remember like from the like coaching experience? Like how was it like for you? Like what did you feel, I guess, like during the coaching session? Like how was the format for you like? And then like how did you feel kind of like after the coaching session? Just not like the experience, but like just the feeling you'll get maybe like once you hit that end call, for example.
Yeah. Well, I'll admit first, like early on, like I was a little bit nervous, kind of having a coach, and it was cool, but I was nervous. And it kind of, I think regardless of what we talked about, it was always just it was relief. It was like, hey, I just let, like after I end the call, I was like, hey, I just let my feelings go. Like it was a great talk. Like, we had a nice talk. I think that's just really good to have, like, really someone to just talk to and listen. Like I said, regardless of, we talk about family, relationships, and it would always vary. But I think even like after we ended the call, it was just nice to know that you had someone listening to you and they were able to relate with you. And it was just an overall good feeling.
I see. And you know, like some people wonder, you know, like how does coaching actually work? Like from your experience, like as I always say, like coaching's about like getting the answers from within rather than me kind of giving you kind of my answers. Although sometimes, you know, in our coaching, I've gave some insights in what kind of my personal experience for you like. But how do you feel like coaching as a format, like just after you've experiencing it?
Yeah. I will preface this. It's been a while since we last since our coaching session, but I always, like you said, you never, like, you don't have the answer to like the stuff that I have, which is, it's always like more how you relate. But I think one good thing that you do is like whenever I ask you, like sometimes I'm always like, I get stuck, like I don't know what to say. Whatever we're talking about, like you might have asked me a question, I'd be like, I don't know. So then I would kind of pose it back to you, and you kind of, like, obviously, like your answer is going to be different from, like, this is based off your experience, right? So it was just nice to kind of hear that, oh, hey, he's also gone through something similar like this. And he's able to, and just like the knowledge that I get out of that, it's, it may not be necessarily something I can apply right away, but it's just something that's just really good to know and learn about. I think that's a lot of good things that I got out of our sessions.
Yeah, I think I remember I said like, hey, like before I give you my answer, like hold on, I really want to hear your answer, like, and then I'll just give you that time to like, you know, like I'll throw
He
it back
pushes
to you.
you, yeah. Yeah, he pushes you, and he's like, you're patient too, like like sometimes we're just quiet for like a minute, like I don't know,
Yeah, we're really quiet.
and
We're just like
you
completely
think,
silent for a long time. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Cool. And did you have any like concerns like before starting the program? Like for example, like because it's also a paid program. Like some people I have concern with about price, about the value, things like that. Like what, like how did you think through the process? Whether this like was an investment worth for you, or like maybe might not be even the investment that was your concern, but maybe other concerns. Like what were those kind of like things that came up for you?
Yeah, I wasn't overall concerned with like price or anything, because I think I don't know if we talked about this, but I think you in life, like you pay people to talk to you, like regardless of what, like if it's coaching, you pay like your doctor to talk to you, you pay your teachers to teach you and talk to you and have a conversation. I think that's just the aspect of life. I think the one thing I mentioned too was just like I was kind of nervous like early on. um it was like oh, like I gotta, like prior to going to the call, like there's a difference between me coming to the call before and then after, because maybe I have all these kind of thoughts in my mind that I'm like not sure how to express it, or maybe I'm like not having a good day and I don't even want to talk to anyone, but I know I have a coaching session with Marco. Sometimes that's just like on the back of my mind, like maybe I'm not coming with that energy. But with
Mm.
that said, like I think those calls, like the calls, the sessions we had, actually turns that around for me to where, like I said, when after we end that call, I just have a more like a sense of relief, is what I mentioned just now too, and just knowing that I let my thoughts go, I left everything on the table, and that's important too. And I think anyone that's gonna be involved in coaching or mentorship is just be open with your coaches, and that's something too that Marco establishes early on. It's like, hey, if you want this to be successful and work out well, like we both have to be on the same page to know that that we're both gonna be super honest. And we talked about some crazy shit. Like we go deep, like we go deep personally, and I think that's like I even like I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend, and like we'll have those conversations, but even like with someone over Zoom, like you rarely think that you'll go that deep into life thoughts or just some stuff shit that's going on in your life. So it's really good.
Right. Right. And I personally like when I have a coach, right, like I really like the periodic kind of like growth, because like, hey, every maybe other week we have like 1 to 2 hours where I know that I'm going to focus on my personal growth without having those
Mm-hmm.
scheduled kind of calls. Like you said, that maybe when you have a slump, this is kind of like the coaching session gonna pick you back up, or if
Yeah.
you're just having a good day, that's even going to like amplify it more. And and another comment I just want to add on is like exactly like when I work with a coach, like, and when I work with my clients, I always tell them, hey, like the more open you are, the more you're gonna get out this kind of like experience. So it's like kind of also facing that uncomfortability and sharing. Obviously, that rapport has to be established, and I think it helped just me kind of knowing you prior before, so
Yeah.
it was like instantly we can all already be open with each other.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Like, and I guess my next question is like, what was the biggest like transformation or like takeaway? Like let's say you like it's been almost like 4 to 5 months since we done the coaching. I think,
Yeah. Yeah. I think a little
maybe
bit
even
longer.
or even longer, right? So it's
Yeah.
like right now, like I'm just curious, or I genuinely don't know. Like, would you say there are
Mhm.
some like takeaways or integration or something that has changed because like if you look back, oh, because of that, like this is what's improved, like this is something that I'm able to take away and integrate in my life and has made a lasting kind of like lifelong, might be lifelong impact, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of, like I said, we had a lot of good chats. But I don't know. I think it was maybe even near our one of our like later calls, or one of the last calls. It was I wasn't having a very good day, and you walked me through checking in with yourself, because I know obviously we're not going to be we're not going to like you have we're not going to be coach you're not going to be coaching me forever. But there's always like you're always going to be, you got to kind of deal with your own shit. So in that sense, you brought up the question to always just check in with yourself. Like if you're not,
Mm,
even if you're having a good day, or even if you're not having, if you're having a bad day, especially, like, hey, take the time, you just ask yourself the question. And that was something like I literally didn't do. And it was like, it's kind of just, it's kind of something like, um, maybe it's like, I should have, it's interesting because wouldn't it be obvious that you should probably check yourself and ask yourself how you're doing? But it wasn't something that was conscious in my mind, is what I'm trying to say.
mm,
And you raised that up, like I said, you're not going to be, I'm not going to have someone to always talk to. And on days that just aren't, you're not feeling it, or days that are just off, it's to take the time and just ask yourself. And I do that now too, like when I'm struggling, or my mental's not there necessarily, I'll ask, hey, how am I doing? checking with myself. And then I kind of just let those thoughts go. Like, even if I'm just talking to myself, talking out loud, or even just in my own head, I just kind of go through the emotions that I'm currently feeling. And then I kind of go back to that and like, what's the driving factor behind those emotions? Is it something that I can address right away, or is it even out of my control? If it's out of my control, should I be worrying about that too much? And yeah, so you posed that question when I told you I was having a bad day. Like, hey, I'm not going to be here all the time, right? So you got to have a way to check in with yourself. So ask that question. How are you doing? It's quite simple, but you brought forth for me. So that's definitely a takeaway that I remember and we'll utilize moving forward.
Damn, dude,
Yeah,
I'm very pleased to know, man. Yeah, that's just something simple like that. Like it will leave for you forever. Like
yeah,
kind of my coach when he taught me how to like just schedule my day before the night ends. And so like
mm,
next day when you wake up, you kind of have a clear like, oh, this is what I'm going to be doing. So it's like kind of like little habits like that you will just kind of leave with you. So I'm
yeah.
glad that
Small
yeah
habits, like small things that you think like, hey, yeah, I could probably figure that out myself, but needed someone to guide me there, right? So that's it. That's cool.
yeah beautiful, man. Thanks for sharing there.
Of
And then
course.
what do you think in like overall, right? Like if you have to reflect back, or were there like specific moments where you feel like I wish the coaching session could be more like this, or things that could be improved, or like it would, or certain things that wasn't just working for you, or maybe you wanted to have a little bit more support, like maybe more exercise, or more like just like kind of like suggestions or ideas that you have on your part.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think overall, like it was really good to have these talks. I think maybe one thing I'll comment on is we had I don't even know if it was part of our session, but we did a group call with some of the people you've coached in the past or currently coaching.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought that went well. I don't think we really took that. Maybe we could have taken that a little bit further. We just kind of had one call. It was nice to know those people, but I haven't really been like connected with them at all. And I don't know if there is a way in terms of that to take that further. And I feel like there is, because there's a reason, like we all obviously know you, and there's a reason that that we want we talk with you, right, and have you as a coach. So I think there is a way maybe we can take that to the next level, and it'd be interesting to see what you can maybe do with that.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm glad that you brought that up, because like what I'm thinking
Yeah.
about is also doing like the quarterly call, like once every 3 months with the past clients that I have. So it's like a
Uh,
group call where we just all mingle, and maybe we can do something like that. So it's like anyone that have tried the it's like kind of like a ongoing bonus that I could bake in for my past clients that sign up for certain
yeah.
packages. Yeah, so I'm thinking about that at the moment.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like that, just that call on its own was good. Like I think when you have more than one person, it's not just a one-on-one thing, and to have people who have gone through the same experience or currently going through the experience, we're kind of more let loose. Like we already understand kind of what's on the table. And
Yeah,
it was really cool to have those insights. So like I said, I definitely see opportunity to take that further. So it's great.
dude, that call is pretty deep, man. Because like we're talking about like
Yeah.
what kind of
Yeah, I
father we
mean, like
want
I
to
didn't even
be.
know those two, and we were talking about like fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for your insight there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, talking about what kind of father you want to do, like what's your
Yeah, yeah.
productivity. Like it was deep, man. Um,
Yeah.
so like who do you think this service is for? Like would you recommend it? Like if so, like to whom specifically? Do you think like this service is not for certain type of people, or like it would be really good for certain type of people?
Yeah. Um, I think, like you said, there is a level of rapport, and I think knowing you as a friend really help. So for maybe someone come in who's never met you, it'd be good to build that relationship. I mean, I can definitely comment. Marco's an amazing guy. He's got so much stuff going on. I think he's always like an idea machine. Like, and then
Yeah.
whatever kind of thoughts that you throw at him, he's able to just connect with you on a life level and a human level. So if you find that connection, or if you feel that rapport, I think that's who I would recommend it to. Like, you obviously want a coach that you can relate with. And
Mm.
not everyone's gonna fall into that boat, but yeah, so you obviously want Marco to, and Marco's got to kind of like, he's got to feel that kind of energy too. I think the coach needs to be able to understand kind of who he's working with as well. So if there's not that connection, maybe it's not necessarily the best option for you. But if you feel that connection, I definitely see that as a opportunity moving forward. And there's no like specific really person. I mean, everyone like myself has like mental problems, has mental issues. We all kind of have a lot of anxiety levels. And I was stuck at a point where I wasn't really sure what I want to do, a lot of uncertainty, and at a level I'm still there. But I think having someone to talk to, having someone to listen to, and if you feel that connection, I think that this is the right opportunity. This is a great. I went through a great program with Mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But like, because you say right now you're still dealing with like the uncertainty, but like, do you feel like you're more confident or you have more tool sets to deal with that uncertainty?
Yeah. We talked about just uncertainty. It's like there's like a level of uncertainty that you can control, and there's a level of uncertainty that you can't. So how do you mitigate? How do you like address the factors that you can control? So it's like those are like, obviously went deeper than that, but those are the kind of conversations we have, and just kind of talk about experiences, shared kind of relationships, and family stuff related to that. And it opened my mind up a bit. It really just opened my mind up more. And hence I have a more positive kind of direction in that sense. So even so even if I'm still stuck where I am, I'm still advanced. Like obviously life goes on. But you kind of have to have I think my mindset's changed on that aspect.
Nice, man. And lastly, is there anything that I haven't asked you or you just genuinely want to share? Or yeah.
Is there anything I want to share? No, man, I love this guy. This guy's awesome. He's working hard out of Thailand too. And it's always nice to chat with him. Even like sometimes we don't talk for a couple months, and he's got some crazy stories to share. So love being open with this guy, and very happy that we met.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, like I'm not perfect, bro, by no means. And when I'm not perfect, I just wish like we could be like we can work it out, because like even friendship sometimes, like maybe down the line, like maybe I would say something that offended you, or you would say something that offended me, or maybe we're not on the same wavelength for a small period of time, but like, I wish I have trust that we will be able to work those things out, like if indeed that something happened. So it's like, yeah, I'll try to be as perfect as I can.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm always worried about like offending friends or saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. But I think like true core friends, like they kind of stick together. They understand like even if we like whoever makes mistakes, like we address those and we move on. But I think that's always like a worry, right? But people stick around. That's awesome.
For sure, man. The real ones would kind of like through experience. Yeah, it would be cool, man. This is like turning into like a little podcast at the end. But yeah, that's the kind of like testimonial / feedback / Adrian's experience. I hope like after watching this kind of video, it will help you kind of determine whether my coaching is the right fit for you. And if you're interested, you can always sign up for that, free discovery coaching session at the first. So just to get a feel for each other, like what Adrian said, the rapport is very important. And it's important that it resonates both ways. So hey, appreciate so much of your time, Adrian, today to sharing this kind of your experience, brother.
Thanks, coach.
All right, man. Love and peace. We'll start recording here.